The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
WWE Developmental NXT.
Welcome everyone to the Wrestling to the Max NXT review for February 8th, 2017. And we want you guys to know, hey, if you want to go check out more great reviews from us, go check out W2Mnet.com. That's where you're going to find all the other great reviews that we do, like Raw, NXT, of course, like you're doing tonight, and of course SmackDown Live along with 205 Live. All those shows are one packed full fun, group there. So you want to go check out W2Mnet.com also to find great reviews when it comes to the written form. So that's an awesome place. You don't want to forget about that. Also, if you're checking us out on iTunes, Stitcher, or any other format, just go type in W2M Network and, of course, subscribe. That way you can get all the great content that we offer everyone. And that's the easiest pie. Just go and subscribe now. Anyway, now let's go ahead and jump into some NXT.
Alright, so, as I thankfully took stuff out so I don't have to scroll that far.
There you go.
So, Nigel is officially doing his first show as part of the NXT commentary team, and they already made me not like him because he couldn't just be the guy he was at the UK show. They had to do something with heel Nigel, which that just doesn't work. I'm sorry. So either way, they had Sanity of the former Big Damo and Alexander Wolf. They now named Big Damo Killian Dane. Man, where they come out with these the name generator. Not that bad for this one, but still. Against the Bollywood Boys, also making their debut on NXT, I guess. And this doesn't go very far at all. And as this ends in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And this was just Sanity whipping some ass.
Specifically Killian Dane, who was murdering everybody for 2.5 minutes. And it was awesome. That's really all you need.
Exactly. And you know what? This is really sweet because, we've seen a lot of teasing of him. We've seen him in a little bit of action, but this is full-fledged action from Dane, and I think it's great because you just get to see the raw power that he has. And, of course, the night is not over for him, but this was just a great showing, especially, doing it pretty much all by himself. So I think it was cool and, gave Sanity definitely proof that, they've got a monster on their hands.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, this is really, like, they've been trying for a long time to get him to be in the group. He decides to finally take the jacket and get in it, and I think he showed you why they wanted him in the whole time. How do you feel about him doing the One-Wing Angel?
Pretty sure that's what he's been doing the whole time he's been on the indie scene, too.
I mean, it's fine, just, I wish some people would just say, hey, this guy does this move way better than I do. Let's leave it at that. But, I mean, it is kind of cool to have a big guy doing the move or whatnot. But,
And you're falling a lot larger distance than you are when you're on frickin' Kenny Omega's shoulders.
that's true. But Kenny Omega kind of has you tighter on the landing, so I don't know. It's probably just, each person their own on that whole thing. So, then you get a little promo there with Nikki Cross and wanting Asuka and Eric Young wanting to, saying he took out Mr. Dillinger, and he's gonna put him in his place some more, as if you didn't already, Eric Young. But whatever, sir. Liv Morgan taking on Billie Kay here. Liv Morgan gets the win because, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce have miscommunication when they try to interfere. And it's weird. Liv Morgan, depending on which edition of the show it is, sometimes gets the crowd really into her match, or sometimes she gets nothing. This is one of those times she really didn't get much.
And it might just be time to add some more to her character other than happy-go-lucky babyface who skips around the ring, and actually get her into something that will build character for her. But I still think she's okay, and it's not like this match is supposed to be anything special, but maybe planting seeds for a split between Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, which is fine. I don't think Billie Kay as a heel is working as well as they would like, and Peyton Royce is definitely the better of the two when it comes to that spectrum.
Yeah, for sure. And, for Liv herself, I mean, she, has used this feud sometimes to her advantage, and then other times it's just been kind of blasé with her. I think we definitely do need to see more. I think that, for a minute there, I thought they were going to do that. And I actually kind of felt like that was a positive, direction. But still, we do have that room to grow. And I think I say that every week we talk NXT, but I'm hoping eventually we do see that progress with her. And, of course, I would love to see that split. I mean, I think it needs to kind of happen. I think they're fine together, but, I mean, I think it would work even better with them apart. And we kind of need to see some of these, great talents play their parts, see what they can do. And, Billie Kay doing her own thing actually is kind of a really good idea if you ask me. So I think this could work out really great.
Yeah, Peyton Royce, you could definitely tell she has the heel side of that character down much better than Billie Kay does. I think it'll come around for Billie Kay. This might not be as natural, so that's going to be an issue. Even then, next week they're going to do the whole, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are going to go complain to Mr. Regal. Well, next week it's a tag match. Liv Morgan chooses her partner, which screams like it's going to be Asuka against Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. And hey, Liv Morgan, you don't have any friends. You can't possibly find a partner or anything. Well,
I mean, she only teamed up with Ember Moon and Aaliyah before all this broke down with Asuka against those two. So
yeah,
she's got friends. Let's be honest.
Well, just because they team up with her doesn't mean they have to be her friends, right?
All the baby faces are friends, Sean. That's how wrestling works.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's all rainbows, hugs, and all in the babyface locker room.
We don't even have acquaintances in babyface locker room. You're just friends automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's like, I barely know that guy. Oh, he's my best buddy. We tag all the time, don't you know? But, yeah, could you imagine that? Like, just go up to this random person. Hey, I just met you. Oh, I guess it would be, Carly Jepsen made that song famous, so it's fine.
Yeah. I wish, and Sean, you're probably exactly right. It probably will be Asuka, but I really wish Liv Morgan would have somebody else who is either someone who hasn't been on NXT a ton, or it's a new face, or maybe a new upcoming NXT talent. I think the Asuka thing makes the most sense, so that's probably what's going to happen. But I kind of wish, in a way, it'd be someone else, just to kind of add something new.
I'm curious if maybe they're holding back on new women's debuts until the call-ups happen and until the women's tournament happens, so that way they have the largest pool available to fill that out, and then you might start seeing some new faces on NXT as far as the women's division goes.
Yeah, you're probably right. Here's the thing. I just want Blanchard to be a part of this whole thing full-time. May not happen, but I just think that she would be awesome to be a part of this full-time. I think it'd be cool and cool if this was the spot. Won't be, though. Just saying.
It'd be cool. I don't know if Tessa has... I mean, certainly NXT, I think, is in her sights, but she seems pretty happy doing what she's doing across I mean, everywhere. She's she's working Stardom now. She's worked in Shimmer, obviously, full time, and all these other places all over the country. That I mean, she's just here in Austin last month, I think, actually for Wrestle Circus. So, I mean, she's everywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised for her to show up here at some point, even if it's as soon as the women's tournament, then great. But she seems happy doing what she's doing now.
Fair enough. I mean, that's her prerogative. I'm just saying from my personal point of view, but that's just because I'm a selfish fan. I just want to see that on my TV. That's just me being selfish, though. But there's lots of great talents out there, and you're probably right on with this whole thing, Paul. I think that they probably are holding off, but once again, it's just you always want those new gems, right? We talked about this at the Royal Rumble. We always want to open our Christmas gifts, and I love when you hear about mystery opponents. You're always like, please be something new, even if it doesn't make sense, So it'll be good no matter what. Next week's match will be fine, whoever it is.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it just makes too much sense for the storyline for it not to be Asuka,
Mm-hmm.
So, after this, Sanity talked about, and Eric Young specifically talked about how he had humbled Ty Dillinger. Well, they got into it and then tried to beat him up in the backstage area, but Roderick Strong and No Way Jose came in to make the save, and hey, Ty found out he had friends too. So, how can you not like Ty Dillinger? He's got to have friends everywhere.
It's not every day you meet a perfect 10, right?
Right.
No, this is just what you get out of this. Once again, that babyface locker room, rainbows, everybody loves everybody. So you see somebody getting in trouble, you're just going to run out there and put your own health at risk. Of course, especially someone like Roderick Strong, who's kind of aiming towards a NXT title run, and he's putting himself out there in this. But no, this is kind of fun. I think this is what the fans wanted to see, right? They wanted to see some of the biggest baby faces that NXT has right now, and joining forces, of course, with one of their favorites in Ty Dillinger, and I think it works for what it is. But for me personally, I still say that Sanity looks great in this episode. I think that they're just, once again, probably one of the most exciting things because of the fact that they've got a lot to them. They're a group that can pretty much do anything on this entire roster, right? Because they cover the women's division, they cover the tag division. And if really, honestly, if eventually they wanted to put Eric Young in the NXT title picture, they could do that. So that's what I love about Sanity. And I think that, they're proving that they are tough. Now, the baby faces get theirs in this. So, just, not a whole lot you can say, but I still think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, Sanity's, they're a great group, right? And I think we've talked about this a lot. It seems like they're building them up to be that big group that takes over all the titles at some point down the road, whether it's as soon as WrestleMania or whether it's later than that. And I would lean towards the latter, in my opinion, but you never know. But I certainly think they're on that road.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. It seems like they're built for that, to be that kind of team that controls a lot of things in NXT. So, should be interesting.
Yeah. And what do you think of it? It's kind of funny because do you guys really think it is just about the fact that, let's be honest, No Way Jose, he's a giant babyface on NXT right now. The crowd seems to loving the dancing, all that good stuff. I think it's funny because Roderick Strong, I think, gets a lot of love because you probably have a lot of the smart fans in the crowd. But I just thought it was kind of funny they chose those two guys. And I think it's a good pick. So I just think it was kind of funny because those guys have been in other areas doing other things, and I think maybe this is just a way to change that, I guess. But I'm thinking too hard on this, by the way. They just needed help, right? Ty Dillinger just needed a little help. But I just thought it was kind of funny those two guys came out.
You look at the top faces on NXT, they're short after Shinsuke, really, because Shinsuke's been holding it down the whole way, and they've sort of just drifted from top guy to top guy with the belt. So after Shinsuke, maybe No Way Jose and Strong and Ty Dillinger, they're really probably your best bets as far as your top faces go.
Mm-hmm. That are already currently tag teams, right? That's pretty much it. Because DIY is a tag team, you wouldn't throw them in that mix because they are a tag team. So
Right.
you're right on that. And of course, TM61 getting injured is also a bad thing. So you're right. I think I agree. I just I guess I kind of forget that, to be honest with you. You just don't think that way, but you're completely right about that. Shinsuke Nakamura, top guy, and then after that, they are shorthanded. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about the tag teams?
No, I'm
This
just
Talking
the
about
main
top single
singles.
stars. Yeah, on the
Yeah,
face
I
side.
mean, you got Bobby Roode and Nakamura, and then Nakamura's probably not long for NXT at this point. So you got Ono, and then you got to go down the card a little bit. So I mean,
Yeah, this shows you right here, though. I mean, just this conversation alone shows you that they're going to have to start really working on building up new stars, and they are. Roderick Strong's pretty brand new still, and they'll add some other faces in here, but it does show you that they have to start working on getting more of these guys that are maybe on the lower card built up to be those next baby faces, because you're definitely, when you lose Shinsuke, you're really going to be shorthanded, and that's a big problem. So I think they'll get it turned around. It's just they've got to start working on it.
well, yeah, I mean, like you've got. That's the thing. It's all levels too, right? I mean, you could, if you wanted to, like you were talking about, Gary, you could split. Well, if DIY ever split, you have one face and one heel. So, there's another guy.
Please happen. I want Ciampa heels so bad. Oh God.
So,
Oh, when it happens, I will be the most happiest man.
Yeah, we still got Hideo coming back too to keep in mind, and you brought up Cassius Ohno. We don't know exactly where he's going to stand yet because he hasn't made his debut officially. So, I mean, there are names out there for him to use. It's just whenever you get outside your maybe top 2 or 3 guys, it feels like there's a bit of a gap there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling Ono's going to be in the main event level. He's coming with all that fanfare and everything.
Originally, we were just talking about baby faces. We weren't
Right.
talking about heels or anything. So I don't know. I don't think anybody knows exactly what Ono's going to be, because all he's done is pat a belt on Nakamura's shoulder in a dark angle. So tells us nothing.
Yeah, that's what also makes you kind of wonder. And Hideo Itami, I mean, I think it's crazy he's coming back, but how long do you really have with him before he gets injured again?
Oh.
Hopefully a long time, Gary. God.
Stop wishing. Stop wishing.
I'm not wishing anything against
Injuries
the guy,
on people. God.
I'm just saying. So we'll see.
Well, we find out that Mustache Mountain is going to be going against each other, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, for the UK Championship next week on NXT. Nakamura isn't going to need surgery, but he's going to be rehabbing, and that's why he's not going to, other than probably in some kind of bad system, but he is not going to be on whatever the next round of however long those tapings were. We won't see him. So, hey, they're really doing a big deal about this injury. So that's nice to see that they. So a lot of times you'll see somebody be out. Oh, they're out for like a week, and the next week they're already back. So
yeah, especially with the extent of that injury, right? I mean, that injury was supposed to be pretty serious. I mean, it basically caused him to lose the title, right?
He was freaking grabbing his leg constantly. So glad to see that they're giving him that time off for that. The Revival take on Heavy Machinery and take them out pretty quick. Pretty much, this sets up. I think the Revival basically, talking trash about DIY and Authors of Pain, and they want to face Authors of Pain at Takeover in Orlando. I have a feeling that Authors of Pain isn't going to have nice things to say about this, as they want to come out and attack them, but the Revival like, nope, the tough guys are out of here. I have a feeling just the 3 of them getting named especially because it's kind of like your whole tag team division. Probably getting a triple threat at Orlando.
I'm excessively okay with that. Just because it'll freshen up a little bit. You get all the big teams in there. AOP wins, I would assume, and you have some big shoes to fill as far as challenger after that. But I want to talk about Heavy Machinery here because I got to see these guys live. And the last time I'd seen them before that was the Dusty Rhodes Classic, and they didn't look very good here. But in this match and in the live appearance, I got to see them, and they look really good. Like, they've gotten much better. Tucker Knight, I mean, outside of his uncanny resemblance to me of Chris Harris from America's Most Wanted fame, just bigger. The dude can move, and Otis is just a massive human being who can also move pretty well. So, and this match made him feel like they have a ton of potential to be a great team. So, I am okay with these guys being on my TV more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And, this is what's cool is now you are getting a couple of guys here in Heavy Machinery that they're showing that, hey, they're stepping up to the level that they needed to be at. And, of course, as teams, exit, which, we're all thinking, the Revival are probably going to head down the road eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. That there's other tag teams that'll step into place and, play a significant role. And I think, at least from what I'm seeing here, I really think that that's good. But, I think it's still early. We'll find out. But, Paul's seen a lot more of these guys, and I take his word for it. And I'm excited about that. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. More young talent coming in and stepping up.
Yeah. So we move on here to the Bobby Roode celebration, as Bobby Roode pretty much just totally makes the thing glorious. So I don't. But yeah, he talks about how Nakamura ruled Japan NXT, and he ran into Bobby Roode, and then Nakamura couldn't get the job done anymore, and now you got a man that looks, walks, and talks like a champion. It's no longer we are NXT because it's my NXT, and it's simply going to be glorious. So, Bobby Roode, already letting you know how it's going to be. And hell, it's going to be glorious, so why not?
Bobby Roode never ceases to amaze me at how good he is at a promo, or just how good he is in general. But, I mean, good Lord. He absolutely slayed this promo. I can't get enough of this guy. I've been a big fan of his for a long, long time, and it's so cool to see him here in NXT with the championship.
I thoroughly enjoy Bobby Roode. I really, really do. And I think he's excellent. I'm so glad he's a part of NXT, and this is no different than some of the other great work I've seen him do, and just cutting great promos. So I'm definitely appreciative of everything that we've seen from him, and this is good too. I mean, it's just him talking, but at the end of this segment, you kind of feel like, man, I at least won, because I felt like that wasn't a waste of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the main event, which, as we mentioned already, Sanity getting 2 matches on the show. Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf taking on Ty Dillinger, Roderick Strong, and No Way Jose, in a pretty good match with Roderick Strong getting pinned by Eric Young for Sanity to get the victory.
Yeah, Sanity, once again, we talked about this. They looked really good in this episode. They stepped up and just, dominated. So I think as you walk away from this episode, you really feel like they are on a path of destruction. This is really good for every member as well. For the first time, we haven't had Nikki Cross be a significant part of the night for these guys. But still, she kind of got a little time on the mic. She kind of got, at least camera time. So that's good. And I think overall, Sanity walks away from this episode, just looking I guess dangerous, violent, and a group you don't really want to cross, especially beating some of the biggest baby faces that NXT has to offer.
Especially Killian Dane here. He's the one that gets the fall, and he pins Roderick Strong, of all people, which surprised the crap out of me, because it looked like they were positioning Roderick to maybe take a run at the NXT title somewhere down the road this year, and if he's going to get sidetracked with the Sanity thing, then obviously that's going to be put on hold. But, I mean, Killian Dane, too big. I mean, he gets both falls in his debut. Like, he looks like a freaking monster, and that's great, but it's still shocking to me that Roderick takes the pinfall here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. And, I really didn't put that into perspective. I think I just kind of took for granted this was just the night for Sanity. That's no matter who got pinned. But, you make that great point. And, we keep pointing for, when we actually have Bobby Roode have that next opponent, and that next big opponent very much could be someone like Roderick Strong. And I think that that's kind of a weird thing for them to do that. So I think that No Way Jose would, being in that situation, if he would have lost, it really wouldn't have hurt him that bad. It's kind of funny that they chose a guy that kind of makes him not look as good. But then again, maybe that's really to help Killian Dane. Maybe that's what this is about. It's about, him and giving him some props at the, even though it kind of makes, Roderick Strong look so great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be your NXT.
Yeah, and definitely if you want to go check out other great content that we have, like other, reviews like I spoke earlier about, make sure you go check out the W2M Network. That is, of course, if you have any device like iTunes or Stitcher, go subscribe now. And, of course, don't forget to go check out W2Mnet.com. Now you can find all the podcasts there as well as some written reviews in the world of wrestling. So don't forget to check out either of those. And we appreciate everybody coming and checking out the show tonight. Of course, we will catch you guys down the road. For myself, for Sean, and for Paul. If you're not living life to the max.
Not living life at all.
You know it.
Please.
Later.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.